I combed my hair this morning. Since you told the world
because you don't be combing your hair.
I
and
don't
I'm glad.
every day.
Yeah, see, that's the point. That's like this season.
You realize that when we record this, it's 7:00 in the morning. Like, how much do you want me to do?
I put some water in my hair. You
come in here with a full beat, looking like you about to step into somebody's runway.
Welcome to Flagrant and Funny.
Is that right?
She's allegedly fine at home. It's all good at home, she says.
Everything is wonderful at home.
Sips tea.
You know it.
I know you shot that video. Why was it so close? Why were you talking like this about the NFL? And why were you doing this with? This is what you were doing also, though. Every time you say NFL, you're like, NFL.
I pronounced it like a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call it? NAFALA?
So says your Espanol.
Yes, NAFALA.
So yesterday we had a really good time. I hosted an event. No, I didn't host it.
You were
I was
a
panelist.
Yes.
I keep forgetting all the things I'm doing. I was a panelist for the 25 years of Love and Basketball. If you guys watch Love and Basketball, and if you haven't seen Love and Basketball, please don't talk to me. But Love and Basketball is amazing, and I was really happy to do it. But the beauty of the panel, it was moderated by my colleague at CNN, Laura Coates, because it's my other side gig. And Laura was asking questions, and it's hard to moderate a panel with so many people, but it was Candace Parker, Cheryl Miller, the greats, the representing the athletes. And then there was Sanaa Lathan, who played Monica Wright in Love and Basketball. And it was Gina Prince Blythewood, who actually wrote and directed Love and Basketball. She's our friend. She's been on my pod a few times. I know you know her. Yep. She is our friend. We love her so much. She's from LA. She went to UCLA. Let's go, Bruins. Let's go. Let's go, Bruins. Let's go, because we're geniuses. She didn't go to no stank Michigan State.
You notice I never talk shit about your school.
Because you can't.
I don't talk shit about you. Oh, I could. If I wanted to, I could. Trust me. I could give you some body blows, but I don't. Because
you're an Aborigine. That's why you're so elevated.
I'm grateful that it produced such wonderful products such as yourself and Gina Prince Blythewood.
And now she's making me feel bad. I'm
yes,
sorry.
I am. I'm going to make you feel bad. So people can see that you're a horrible human who kicks baby seals. And
I club them. I don't kick them.
Oh, my bad. You clubbed them. Didn't mean to be inaccurate, but
yeah.
And no, the event, yes.
But the event was great.
It was wonderful.
And Jayne Kennedy. Are you kidding me?
Jayne
Kennedy, who has a book out called Plain Jane. Jayne Kennedy is arguably the very first well-known African American sideline reporter in sports. She worked for the NFL.
The NFL Today. CBS.
Early years, because she's 74.
Yeah.
She looks amazing.
So she was on the desk with Brent Musburger, Irv Cross.
She was naming those people, and I was like, good grief.
Jimmy the Greek.
I mean, good grief.
So
you got to Google these names. But I remember just as a kid seeing her on television thinking, I've never seen anybody more beautiful. Like, I just like whenever she would pop on, I don't know, she was also an actress, right? So she lived in both worlds. Then it was okay to like be a reporter and be an actress. And so she lived in both of those worlds. I don't think she considers herself a journalist, though. I don't.
Yeah. I mean,
does she?
That's a good question. I mean, she behaved in that capacity for her time on CBS, being a sideline reporter, being on the desk. And I think she was the first Black woman to be in studio on an NFL show. And what I kept thinking about with her being on the panel was how everything's come full circle. And we just saw our friend Maria Taylor become the first Black woman to host
all these first. But first of all, there will always be first, right? But congratulations to Maria. I thought that was great. I also feel like if there was no Jayne, there would be no you, no I, no Maria. And
she's the foundation for a lot of this.
And there are others that we can go way back to Ida B. Wells, which we have not done.
The godmother.
Right. We can go, hi, Ida B. Wells, shout out to you. Thank you. But the reality is that I was just so impressed by how kind she was and how generous she is. And the panel was really fun. I had a good time. You
were dropping some gems, my friend.
You said that.
Yes, you were dropping some gems.
What'd I say?
Girl,
what I say?
What was I talking about?
What was I saying?
Well, no, especially when you were talking about just as being Black women in this industry and, us always having to fight to be seen and just some of the things that overall, not just that the movie touched on, but just, just that theme of us fighting to be seen, the fact that you gained such inspiration from the athletes and from Gina and from Jayne Kennedy. And it was great, especially that you gave her flowers, because I think I've done a sit down with her for her book, Plain Jane. And I think to a degree she feels forgotten.
And I do love that we are talking about Jayne Kennedy. I brought my friend Tommy with me. Tommy was like, girl, I went and bought the book. I know nothing about her. I went and bought the book. I was like, tell me more. Because when she told the best story, you guys. She told this Muhammad Ali story, which is amazing. She said she was working as a reporter and she didn't get much love. And she heard them in one of the rooms, producers screaming, how will we get to talk to Muhammad Ali? How will we get to talk to Muhammad Ali? And she was like, I can get you Muhammad Ali. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, I bet you can. You know why we knew she could get her some Muhammad Ali.
She flexed on the boy.
And she said she called him up because they had been friends. They had traveled the world. And she said, can I have this interview? He goes, here. He said, I'll leave my key at the front desk. Have your camera crew set up so we can be ready to go when I get back, and I'll do the interview. And she got the interview. And she said it was like she didn't know she was going to get the interview. She just said, but I think she knew because let's not. She's stunning.
And her and Muhammad Ali were friends.
They were friends, but no, men are simple. Like, I love y'all.
They're like, she fine. Yeah, she getting an interview.
Yeah, girl. I'm not even about to tell you because you know.
What was that for? Why we?
Well, I know my friend said to me the other day. She listened to the pod. She goes, I'm trying to get you a man, and you just too honest on the podcast. I need you to stop being so honest.
You too honest.
She was like, we can't get you no man. You just be saying everything and how you be. And I'm like, what? I feel like I'm fine.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm fine and fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
She said you too hard on the men folk. Is that what you mean?
I don't think I am. I think she's saying I'm revealing too much. Like I have to play a coy cat and mouse game.
Okay. Be a little more mysterious.
I feel like I am mysterious.
You are. Like
people don't know anything about me.
People don't know anything
they
about you.
They think they know something about
Correct.
me.
They know what you want them to know.
Yeah. And I'm all like, I'm not built that way. And I won't be with anybody who doesn't like me for me. Love me for me. And I...
Listen, don't say too much. We ain't got no money, Cari. Don't say too much. And this is where you drop a YY. This is where you drop the YY.
If they say...
Why?
First of all, I'm on beat.
That's what you're telling yourself. You're not totally on beat.
It was a really great time. And then, of course, you guys, I had to give shout out to my girl Jemele because if I don't say this, and I always say it, even though on this show I give you
you just wanted to embarrass me.
She doesn't like attention allegedly, but not with all this hair, not with all this blonde hair, not with all these porn videos she putting up talking about the NFL. But she, God, I think I'm so funny. She does not like attention, and we were talking about sisterhood and what this world meant, and I said, I think there are friendships that change your life professionally, and yours has been one of mine in terms of you've changed my life professionally because I've never had really good girlfriends in the workspace. I don't trust you hoes. And you have been such a refreshing reminder that I don't know anything. Like I should always be open to having new friendships with genuine people.
I mean, you don't have to trust them hoes as long as you trust this hoe. I mean, that's really
how I feel.
Because what you saying that reminded me of a friend of mine who she's a lesbian, and so when she
why do you have to say that?
Well, because it's going to make sense with the story. That's why. That's why. I'm not just throwing it out there. And so I used to mess with her because sometimes she would be involved with the straights. I'm like, girl, why are you in the straight population? And she said, I don't care. Let's just give her a name. I'm gonna say her name is Margaret. She was like, girl, I don't care if they like women. I just care if they like Margaret. I was like,
that's it.
Well, talk about it. Put me on some game. All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that's why I said that.
It's true.
You don't have to trust
everybody.
Trust
everybody. Jemele's much more friendlier than I and willing to break down and break bread with people. I'm not as friendly as that. But I think that it really changed definitely couldn't have got through Bristol without you.
Same.
Yeah. I mean, literally.
That's mutual.
Oh, yeah. I could not have gotten through Bristol without you. But I was giving everyone their props, and I was like, and I got to just talk about my boo right here. She was in the front row, just watching me and supporting me. And the support is so genuine and so kind. And I'm like, I'm just so glad God blessed me with a friend like Jemele Hill. And I know that most people feel like you are their friend, but you really aren't. Like, I know that you
Don't
have.
give away the secret.
You really have
Cari.
like a handful of friends, and I'm just honored that you consider me one of them.
Well, because you're a great friend. Like, people may have this impression that you're not friendly, but it's funny, you never came off that way to me. And
no, I am super friendly
yes,
to whom I want to be friendly
to. Whom you want to be friendly with.
Yeah.
But I know before you've told me that you've worried, or not necessarily worried because you don't care, but that people have this image of you of being somebody who's harsher than they actually are.
Sure.
And I'm like,
oh, that's just a protective mechanism,
okay,
right?
Because
like,
you never came off that way to me.
I'm not harsh at all, but once I am really truly I'm super sensitive. That's usually what that is. And so I just keep myself safe. Like, I can't be around everybody. I feel everything truly deeply. Like, I laugh really loud. I talk really loud. Everything is a feeling. Like, I'm not lukewarm about anything. And if I am, I don't care about it. So I think that if I am lukewarm about friendships, I don't pursue them. So that is what I am grateful for. That, because I know, let me tell you, I didn't trust her either. I don't want to be her friend.
You did not.
But we love to tell the story.
I was too oblivious to know it.
You were so oblivious. You're like, you want to hang out? I'm like, no, but okay. and it was perfect. But I say all that to say is that yesterday's event was another reminder that, you know, women can have it all in various ways, not necessarily at the same time, but everyone on that stage really represented something special.
And I don't know if you felt the room, but the room was a vibe.
The room was
like,
a vibe.
Everybody was just so energized, and it just felt like we were ready to take on the world after listening to you all. So
the NBA, the All-Star Weekend, I kind of made a joke about it being, you know, side chicks versus wives, but that the weekend is also really truly a good way to catch up with people you haven't seen. I saw so many people I hadn't seen.
I know NBA All-Star Weekend, you're thinking, oh, it's just a bunch of events for men, but really it's a strong presence of women here.
What's your next event after that?
So after that, it's a Win with Women event that is being held at Somerville, which is Issa Rae's restaurant. And
who's sponsoring?
This is sponsored by Beats.
Okay, yeah.
It's sponsored by Beats. Like you said, we have Michelle Obama. I have the Beats Win with Women event. And then tonight...
are you going to D Wade's?
Tonight, it's the supper.
There's a supper club event tonight that D Wade is having with Carmelo and CP3. I don't know what that is. Kenny Smith is also having a
party. Is it?
He's having a dinner, a black tie dinner.
Oh wow! Okay.
I might swing by that first. I don't know. My feet hurt. I have to go home and soak my feet. I was out last night because I did the NBA Foundation. I hosted that event at the Forum yesterday. It was really a great event, and I was tired, so I decided to come home. And my friend came with me, and I got to tell you, she's funny. I'm going to tell you this story, and we're going to move on. She came with me. She was tired. She had to go home because she had to go to work. And the other day, I was at her house, and I was talking to her, and I said, can you come with me to this event? She was like, girl, I done called in sick for the week, so I don't know. And I said, what do you mean?
What you mean?
Yeah, she was like, I killed off. She's like, I've killed off a family member, so I'm off for the week. I said, what do you?
Wait, what?
You know those people who lie, they call in sick or they...
Oh, I had an ex who did that. And that was one of the first indications. Because he killed off his grandma about 3 times.
Well, was she really alive?
I think she had been passed.
Well, do you think... Okay, here's a question. Take it to the audience. If your family member has already passed...
Like, is it cool to lie on them?
And say they did. So
though
that you
been
get some vacation time. Yeah. Is that okay? Think about
it. I
think
don't like
everyone's done it.
I don't
like
the karma of it. You're right.
Okay.
It's like then something might happen. So you're saying you would draw the line? You can't lie on alive family members. Would you do that?
Well, my grandmother just passed away. I don't think I could ever
use her in that fashion.
Ever. No.
That's what I was thinking.
But
too.
It was only because maybe if it was like a great aunt I had never met, maybe,
a distant relative.
Distant relative. I don't know. Maybe if I need a couple of days off, I don't know.
No. I'm just gonna be like, I need some personal time.
But what if you can't? You don't have personal time.
Calling in sick? That don't work.
No, you can't do that no more. I'm just saying, what if you don't have a choice?
Oh.
I just don't know why she did it, but it really tickled me. And I was
okay, so she called off for the...
Yeah, she's like, every job I've had, I've killed off my grandmother. I'm like, what?
And her grandmother's deceased. Okay.
It's like, you're crazy. You're insane.
That's your friend.
And she is my friend. But here's my thing. The older I get, I realize everybody's crazy. It's just what level of crazy you're willing to put up with.
Yeah, it's levels to it.
Oh, yeah, because all of us are crazy. I hate when people are like, you crazy. I'm like, as are you, but I'm not going to talk about how you're crazy.
You told me I was crazy.
Of
I didn't
course.
believe you.
That's
was
why
just
you're
like,
crazy.
What are you talking about? I'm not crazy. And then you said you still are very tickled by this. My level of crazy is probably 1 to 3. I don't get this. Why the look? I don't get the look.
1 to 3
1 to 3.
what?
I'm no higher than a 3. 3.5 tops.
On a scale of 1 to 3?
On the scale,
Or a
of 1 to 10,
4?
damn it, I'm a 3.
On a scale of 1 to 4, yeah, okay, you're a 3.
So on the scale of 1 to 10, what crazy am I?
My armpits are getting wet. I don't know if I can answer this.
Oh, now you don't want to answer.
Yeah, I know how. Speaking of, this is my Love and Basketball.
Oh, you know what? I
T-shirt.
meant to get one.
This
Hopefully
is
it's one in the
Sanaa,
bag.
and this is Monica Wright, and
And
this is
Quincy
and
McCall.
Quincy McCall. I forgot Quincy's name. I don't want to get. I
Yeah,
see how I deflect. I don't want to answer that question.
You see how she avoided the question?
So, I think that when we were talking about Love and Basketball, and it's so true, and this is what I said yesterday that I think is really interesting. These women, I really wanted to thank Cheryl. She never really could have the career she wanted to. But when these women were playing basketball earlier on, they really were doing it for the love of basketball. And Gina Prince Bythewood was ahead of her time. And I thought to myself, she was so genius because she wanted to play basketball, but they were like, "There's no, what are you gonna do?" By the time she graduated from UCLA, shout out to UCLA, she
Again.
didn't have an option. There was no WNBA, so she's like, "I might as well be a director," and I'm like, "You might as well." And it worked out because her very first film was what she wanted to be. She wanted to be Monica Wright. She wanted to be a basketball player. She wanted to have love. She wanted to have a family, and I was just like, and she wanted it to. Here's the thing: she just wanted to be a pure athlete and not be judged for having an attitude. It was just all the things, all encompassing. It just really relates to so many things that women still have to deal with today.
Because that movie holds up very well. Like for today, because we talk about the double standards that female athletes have to deal with in terms of how they compete, whether or not they're friends, that sort of thing. And so that movie hit on exactly that.
And everyone's trying to get her to do it too, and I get it. Like, I want a sequel. She's like, you just don't mess with greatness. She may do it in some form or fashion, maybe a TV series or something like that. But it was so interesting to see all the actors that were in the room that came to that event. There were so many actors there.
And I was just like, they're all still cool.
They're all still cool, and they love her. And I thought to myself, this is really beautiful. But it reminded me of today's WNBA and what women are dealing with. We are so spoiled and having so much personal information about people. And I think, and what we're about to talk about is something really serious. And I want to do a bit of a turn.
The WNBA, they always want to make the news for the right reasons, as does
as does anyone. But to me, this next story is an example of the fact that they are a professional league, just as it would happen in the NFL, just as it would happen in hockey, any professional sport, basketball, men's basketball. Rickea Jackson is the story that Jemele and I are talking about. And I got to be very honest with you. When Jemele wanted to talk about this, I said, well, what do we know? I don't know enough. And I didn't know enough because I wasn't intentionally seeking out enough information. And I still stand by the fact that we don't have all of the information. I'm being very, very clear. But I do believe this conversation should be had in a very nuanced way, in a way in which we can peel back some layers. And I think if you all have been paying attention to the news, Rickea Jackson was dating James Pierce. He had been her boyfriend for 3 years. James Pierce was just recently drafted this past year for the Falcons. He was a first-round draft pick. He apparently had a really great second season. He was almost defensive rookie player of the year, from my understanding. That's what I was reading.
He had a strong.
Season.
Everybody knew he's a super talented player.
And so I guess they broke up. And she didn't want to be bothered with him anymore. And he stalked her. She was down in Miami playing Unrivaled.
These are her allegations.
These are all allegations. Thank you for that, because I don't want to go to jail. And she was playing in Miami, and she was leaving an apartment around 9 a.m. in the morning, heading back to her home. And she saw his car following her. It was a white Lamborghini and SUV. And apparently they went to a stop sign and a stoplight. He got out of his car, tried to open up her car door. This is all according to reports. And she drove off. She sped off, and he followed her. And when they got to the Miami police, or she was trying to go to a police department in Miami, he started to ram her car as she was trying to turn into the police department.
Yeah.
He rammed her car with his car. And then this next part is crazy, Jay, about what happened with the police, like how he interacted with the police. Not only was he stalking her, like, and trying to stop her from going to the police department, he then got into it with the cops.
Yeah, because then he hit one of the officers. They had to pull a gun on him there
with his car.
And there's video of his confrontation with the police then online. So if you search and go on social media, you'll see it, where it takes like 5 or 6 officers to get him restrained. And
he's lucky they did not. And I don't wish this on any
I know
man
where you're going with it,
or any black man, but he is lucky. I honestly believe he's lucky to be alive.
No, he is, because especially when we see, put it this way, given what we've seen, he's lucky it wasn't ICE. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Because he would have been dead. And really, I'm not just going to say that that's something that is just relegated to ICE, because certainly we have seen plenty of other unfortunate encounters between black folks and the police that they have done far less than what he did.
Yeah.
And been murdered.
Yeah.
And so you're totally right that he is very fortunate he didn't lose his life.
Yeah, the officer said, pulled a gun out on him and said, stop where you are. He said, get on the ground. His response was to, according to reports, hop in his vehicle and drive off. And in the process of driving off, he hit the officer in the leg with his automobile. And then there was a small pursuit. He's still like running from police officers. He crashes his car, then starts running on foot, according to reports, like trying to flee the scene now on foot.
Right.
And then when the officers finally got a hold of him, they said he was resisting arrest. I'm like, what? Was he on some kind, like, are you crazy? I mean, he crashed out, literally.
Yeah.
Like, had a moment.
In this climate, especially.
In any climate.
Yeah.
As a black man, what are you doing?
Well, you
don't usually get that grace, and I'm not trying to use color as an issue. It's just
but no, you
what
don't.
It is.
And then his bond was set at like $20,000.
I was like, what incredible restraint!
Like a little.
That's why I feel like there's something else is going on here, or maybe and I would hate if this was the case. Maybe they were fans because they like football. Like, I would hate that. Like, that would be something that happens. That often.
Definitely happens all the time.
They take it easy on people that they know that are athletes that they are fond of, or
and,
maybe watch play in the college world.
I hate to say it too. It would also sometimes can be a factor. Not saying it is in this one, but it's hard not to think about these questions because we've seen it so many times before. It's who is the alleged victim, the who being a black woman, and I hate to say it, but there's a lot of evidence to support this, that whenever it's considered, whenever we're the victim of something, it's not considered as harsh. Because I could very easily throw out the question, is like, had he done all this to a white woman, would his bond have been $20,000?
No.
Probably not.
No.
And so there's that layer to it.
I don't, like, and first of all, $20,000 seems like a small infraction for intentionally hitting an officer, because that's what he was charged with.
Yeah. Among the many things.
Among the many things.
Yeah, because he also
stalking,
lying
in wait.
And the fact that by ramming into her car, he is then using his car as a deadly weapon. And so they're considering all of this.
He's only 22 years old.
Very serious charges. But, to be honest, I don't want to actually talk about him. And the only reason why I say that is because already
the narrative,
this is so common in sports. So it's not just Rickea Jackson and James Pierce Jr., but as soon as there is a male athlete who is accused of some level of violence against a woman, be it physical violence or sexual violence, then all the care and concern becomes about his career. Like, I hope he's okay. I'm praying for him. This and that. And listen, people, I get it.
Jemele's not lying. I'm old enough to remember Ray Rice.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when Ray Rice on video struck his fiance, and Floyd Mayweather said, because he had got suspended, remember? It was the first time. It might have been 2012. And Ray Rice was the running back for the Baltimore Ravens at the time. And the NFL reviewed the case because it was all over the news. And I think they initially decided to suspend him for 3 games.
That was it.
And Floyd Money Mayweather was interviewed, and I don't know who asked him, but he said 3 games. That's crazy. Let that man go get back to work. That's not even
Floyd Mayweather, who's been convicted of domestic violence, by the way.
But quintessential example of what you're talking about. It wasn't about her care. It was about, why did they suspend him for 3 games? That doesn't make any sense. Don't ruin his career. And I almost went to there like, oh my God, he's only 22. Why is he doing that? His life is ruined. But my point in saying that, for me at least, was the victims here are so young. Their lives he doesn't even know what he did. Like, at 22 years old, what are you doing? But you are right. The story is about this woman, and who knows what has gone on between that relationship for him to crash out like that.
To be that young, and we know that sometimes these relationships, especially when you're young, are complicated, to say the least. But my concern is her, and especially this season, or I should say, I guess it would be last season. It's like Rakia Jackson up and just took some personal time off, and people were very.
So you're trying to connect the two. We don't know.
We don't know this. We don't know. But I know now that we're seeing some of these things come out, like, apparently as part of this, as you mentioned, she showed the text messages to officers of her telling him,
leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
I don't ever want to be with you again.
And she blocked his number, and apparently he used another phone to continue to harass her. And seeing things like that, and realizing her being a professional athlete, somebody who has gained her own limelight and her own measure of success, and having to deal with this on the side on top of your career, I cannot imagine what kind of headspace that would put somebody in when they're just really starting their professional lives. Yeah. It's like, okay, I'm trying to be the best, one of the foundational players for the current Sparks, franchise. And I'm dealing with this volatile relationship on the side. And, oh, by the way, possibly being stalked and abused inside of it. Like, this is
we don't know stuff. If he physically abused her.
That's what I said. Well, the abuse could also be mental. So okay. I'm just keeping it open. And that's why I use the word possibly.
I was like,
but nevertheless, is understanding what she has to deal with is just really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And already, as I said, I don't like some of the narratives. Another one I don't is like
the narrative, though. You said it's interesting. I do believe the narrative goes to, well, what did he do? Like, why is he being this way? The reason that is, it was because his behavior was so ridiculous. You're like, wait, what is wrong with you? Are you okay? Clearly, he's not. You hit people for a living. But I think the other issue is this. Domestic violence in this country, and I'm not saying that this is some sort of violence, but domestic violence in this country has always been swept under the rug. It's always been, that's something you don't talk about out loud. I honestly don't believe that, and you know this because you covered the story well, and you even interviewed Ray Rice's fiance Janae when he was on his tour to get back. You know what I mean? His apology tour. I don't think the NFL at that time, what year was it, 2014, 2013?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
The NFL at that time didn't even have a domestic violence policy. They for years looked the other way, as did officers, when officers would pull up to someone's home and they'd be like, it's just between them, they got to work it out. So the reason why the narratives are still so behind is because there was just really this idea that you didn't discuss it. It was nobody's business.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. And even with the Ray Rice situation, what was so startling about that is, like you said, the NFL gave him 3 games. They wound up, the reason why they lost in arbitration is because after the video came out, then they tried to give him 11 games. And they're like, okay, what changed? What changed was the video. Mm-hmm. And that's the unfortunate part of it, because I remember the Baltimore Ravens owner, Steve Bisciotti, saying, when the video came out, he said, oh, in my mind, that's not what it looked like. Well, what did you think it looked like? And that, to me, displayed a level of ignorance about this issue.
But that's how it has to be in this country.
It's like, you got to see the video.
We weren't, literally, people weren't fed up and outraged with ICE until we saw them unload 9 to 10 bullets inside of Alex Pretty.
Yeah, I mean, and even with what we saw with Renee Good, right?
Well, you have to, like, we can tune out a lot of things.
Or it just becomes just watch, rinse, repeat. And, as it relates to Rakia, the other narrative I hate is seeing, frankly, mostly men saying that she didn't deserve it because of what she looks like. Because Rakia is a gorgeous, stunning woman.
She's stunning.
And
she's
they're
beautiful.
willing, some people are willing to only extend her the grace of being a victim because she's pretty. So if she wasn't pretty, then it's fine. It's just like, I just feel like our conversations around violence against women are still stuck in a certain place. And we got to graduate and elevate our thinking. And especially about understanding abuse. Because, you see people saying, well, I don't understand. There's a lot of women out here.
It's the same thing with Diddy.
It is. It's the same thing. It's
no
like
matter.
abuse.
We saw that video with him of him and Cassie.
Him and Cassie, yeah.
And people are like, "This is gross. This is awful." Fast forward to we finally get to the trial, and they're like, "Oh, well, she did this." You're like, "What?"
They're always trying to excuse it, and I need people to understand this: that abuse is not about pretty. It's not about how many women you can have or can't have. It's not about any of those things. Much like sexual assault, it's not about actual sex. It is about power and control.
Yes, and whenever you don't have power and or control, and someone else has that over you, they can abuse you.
Correct.
In any capacity.
Yeah,
I like in any capacity, at work, at home, in whatever life that is. I will say this. You're right about Rakia. And as we talk about this, even though I was hesitant because I'm like, what's going on? I had the same like dusty set of thoughts about like, oh, I don't know. Should we talk about it? It is something that is so arguably uncomfortable. And that is why we are in a place today where we can't have these conversations honestly and we aren't holding men to account. But Rakia, we don't know you. But whatever you're going through, know that we empathize and we are sending you so much love. I couldn't imagine how embarrassing this is and how hurtful this is.
And then for her,
that's the
thing
right there.
That right there
part right there.
It's like you don't want somebody who has, and by the way, she's a hell of a player, right?
So good.
Nobody wants to be defined by that. I remember having that conversation with Janae Rice. She doesn't want to be the woman that was hit in the elevator the rest of her life.
Well, and we go down the list. Rihanna said that when she went on Oprah show.
Oh, with her and Chris Brown.
Because when those photos got leaked, that really changed everything. We knew there was an issue. We knew they got into it. We knew that, maybe, remember, I think they kind of got back together here and there. But she's like, when those photos came out, she was mortified. Mortified probably because of what she dealt with. Mortified because she stayed there. Mortified because she went back. But
because there's a lot of guilt and shame that come with that. And I also applaud Rakia for this because her attorney said she's willing to testify.
I think that's great.
And I think that's great and empowering, hopefully, for her. I hope
that is the case. I couldn't even imagine because, the response is, I just want this to go away.
Yeah.
I don't want to prolong it. Same thing with like Meg Thee Stallion. Like when she was allegedly shot and people were saying she wasn't shot and something went wrong and all these people ganged up on her online and the immediate reaction to women claiming they've been abused and or treated poorly is always met with such negative ire.
But let's be specific. Black women. Okay.
When Black women say something is wrong or they've been treated away, there's an eye roll, there is a lack of empathy and sympathy, and there is this, oh my gosh, she's trying to take a man down, she's trying to take the Black man down. Like, you're like, what? What are you talking about?
I hate when people say that because it never works out that way. Not about taking the Black man down, but making every allegation of abuse seem like some kind of built-in come up. I'm like, it doesn't work that way.
It's embarrassing.
It's not just embarrassing.
Hurtful.
If anything, the woman is castigated off.
Treated poorly.
Treated poorly. It's like, even now you have people riding for Chris Brown, and I'm like, hey, if you like it, I love it. That's fine.
Yeah.
But to act as if Chris Brown, a lot of his behavior after Rihanna wasn't an issue. It is. That's a big reason why he's not in them rooms he want to be in and not celebrated the way that he thinks he should be is because of his own behavior.
But it's a double-edged sword. I don't want to talk. I don't want to seem like I am defending Chris. I do believe that his behavior, he hasn't matured. At least it doesn't appear that he has matured in certain instances, and he's still very upset and bitter with how the world has treated him, and he's not doing himself any favors by tweeting certain things and having attitudes. Like, he's not doing the apology tour,
right?
But this world, Hollywood, forgives a lot of disgusting people.
They do. I mean, and
I think of Woody Allen. I go down a list of people.
Oh, it's a long list.
That,
I mean, it's a truly long
we're
list.
dealing with that right now when we see the Epstein files. Like, the reality is that Hollywood will forgive a lot of people. He hasn't, and they don't have to do an apology tour.
No.
I'm not defending Chris Brown, but my point being is that
we
agree.
see the double standard.
It's clear.
But
it exists.
It is there. It's just what I would say is that I don't think our litmus test of decency and morality should come from certain groups of people.
What do you mean?
Meaning by that is that we are always like, well, what about this person? I mean, generally,
what do you mean?
I'm just gonna say what it is. It's usually we're looking at white people and seeing them, some white people, and seeing them get away with all kinds of transgressions, being welcomed back, not losing any money, not losing any checks, and understandably, the consequences for us are always much harder. Like there's no doubt about that. But I also don't want that to become our litmus test either. Being
it's
like,
not. No.
Yeah, I don't want that to be the case. Like, we should be able to abuse people like them. Like, no, that's a weird argument to make.
I know, but I just don't want to. I just want to say, to our knowledge, Chris Brown hasn't beat anybody after Rihanna. Not that that's okay.
Well,
he stalked the hell out of Carucci.
But not just that, but him and Frank Ocean got to, like, he has
a temper.
He has gotten into it with he's facing charges right now.
No, but I am not defending him in any capacity, but I'm just saying I feel like there are so many more of these instances. We can't just highlight him. You got to go down and list of people.
No, it's
not just him. You got to go down and list.
A lot of people had an issue with the fact that Dr. Dre, they got that Grammy humanitarian award named after him, and everybody knows the story with him and Dee Brown. Not Dee Brown,
yes,
Dee Barnes.
Dee Barnes, that woman he allegedly.
Yes.
But then you also have things like Eddie Murphy had a baby out of wedlock with Spice, and it ruined his Oscar.
But see, I don't put that in the same. I don't put that in the same category.
No. My point being is that
it
could be just
when you
as
be putting
extreme.
your hands on people. That's a different story.
No. You're missing my point. My point is that it can be. There's a double standard that exists.
Correct.
For better or for worse, and I am not a Chris Brown fan at all. I truly do believe the narrative around Black women and abuse and what we try to say when we speak our truth is far too harsh. I feel that way about when you want to defend someone and you get bullied online by people who are saying race, or look. I just recently dealt with that. We deal with it. We always will pay a harsher penalty. I will be honest with you too. I thought about this last night. And I just want to put a button on the Rikia. Again, we do wish you the best, sis. We are here for you. We are lifting you up. No one should have to ever deal with this. That is the truth. I was thinking about last night about how we as Black women are perceived sometimes. And when I was out all day yesterday, I realized why I don't like many people.
That took a turn.
My point being is like,
that's why I don't fool with y'all.
That's why I was just like, I don't like humans. Because there is a perception that just doesn't exist. There's a perception of who we are when you're empowered, you're marginalized, Black in our case. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like the feeling of it. I don't like the dismissiveness of it. I don't like the intentional belittling. I don't like the you don't matter and I want you to know you don't matter because you're running around here thinking you matter. So I want you to know you don't matter. And you're just like, bet. You know what I mean? And that all falls in line with what we're talking about, that narrative that happens when we try to speak truth to power or we try to speak our truth or we file like Megan, when she decided to go after Tory Lanez and literally testify, I couldn't imagine how bullied she was online or even within the industry.
It was terrible.
I couldn't imagine dealing with that. Like the way 50 Cent's a troll anyway. He's an equal opportunity troll. But the things that people were saying about her, saying that she shot herself, she didn't get shot, she made it up. And then when he got time in jail, it was like, how dare she? We will have vengeance in the.
Like suddenly, Tory Lanez had more fans than I've ever seen him with. People that she made hit records with turned the baby. You know, I was
wild.
That was they had hits together.
Wild.
And then he brings him out on stage. I'm just like, that was terrible. I was so happy his career got ruined.
Were you happy with that?
I was happy with it. I was like, he earned that.
You earned that.
You earned that.
Do you have anything nice you want to end the show with?
Well, Cari, I know you don't like humans, but I'm glad you like this human.
I mean, I'm
glad
I am at that age now. I'm all like, ooh, I should just stay. I just gotta stay in the house.
Please, just stay in the house.
That's why I'm so glad you're going to the Michelle Obama thing with me, because I'll talk. Janelle, her name is Janelle. Everyone calls you Janelle.
They do.
Everyone calls you, and everyone calls me Cari. Cari and Jemele are going out today. Cari and Jemele are going out today. I was like, I'm so glad Jemele will be there. She is truly my safety blanket. Like when I'm walking around and I don't want to talk to nobody, I just start talking to her. She could be talking to somebody, I'll just stand next to her. And I'm like, oh boy, here comes people. People are coming. I am so awkward. I am so, you don't even believe that, but I am. I am socially awkward. You know how I feel. I'm like, okay, here they come. Oh my God. I have to do a full debrief after talking to people. And I come to you, I'm like, help me. Help me, I'm poor.
Help me, I'm poor. I'm here for you, Cari.
Shout out to Bridesmaids.
Shout out to Bridesmaids. I'm here for you. And we are here for our Flagrant and Funny listeners. So we'll be back on Monday.
Today's
Friday.
And we'll be back
on Monday.
Look at us.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Look at us.
Look at us being real grown with it.
We're working hard.
We are.
You know what?
This is like a job.
I will say this. Here we are 10 episodes in, maybe. And we're catching our rhythm, and we definitely appreciate you all. Download, subscribe.
Do all the things.
Hit the like.
Mm-hmm.
We are having a blast.